WWE Elimination Chamber, the preview and predictions video for you here on SCW on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comment section. Please like and share the video as well. 5 matches at the time of recording for the Elimination Chamber. I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 more matches added to the card, but do not fear. There will be another Elimination Chamber video after SmackDown should there be any more additional matches given between now and then. So don't fear, keep your eyes peeled here on SCW. But in the meantime, we've got 5 matches to discuss, so let's go straight through it now. Starting with the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match, which is the winner will take on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship in the same night. So we've got 6 competitors in the chamber, 2 men start in the ring. Every few minutes there'll be another pod open and someone will join the match. You are eliminated via pinfall or submission, and you're in this brutal steel cage structure as well, which is fantastic. It's been around since Survivor Series 2002 and it's one of my favourite WWE stipulation matches throughout the entire year. So going through the SmackDown ones, you can see on your screen right now, we've got Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan and Cesaro all in the Elimination Chamber match. So looking at it, I mean, the winner, say, gets a Universal Championship match. I've got it down to 3 or 4 people that could potentially win this. I am ruling out immediately King Corbin and Sami Zayn. I don't see him getting there. From storyline perspective, Kevin Owens would kind of make sense because that storyline is still going on, but they have had 3 championship matches, and even though winning the Chamber and Kevin Owens to get a match, perhaps to lose afterwards, would still keep him protected, I don't want to see it again. I think if it has to happen again, it has to be on a SmackDown. I want to see something different on this card. So I am going to go with heart over head. I think Kevin Owens would have been my prediction, but I'm going to go for Cesaro to win this Elimination Chamber match. My reason for it is Cesaro is red hot on SmackDown. He has not lost for such a long time. He's defeated world champion after world champion. He even made Daniel Bryan lose twice. He made him tap out to the sharpshooter just a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. Cesaro actually won for him and Daniel Bryan as a team to actually get into the Elimination Chamber as well. Cesaro, you just can't stop him at the moment. And I think he would be the right choice to get this opportunity right now against Roman Reigns. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of other things that I think will happen in the chamber just before I move on then to Cesaro versus Roman Reigns, in my opinion. Starting off the match, I think we should get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, because that way Kevin Owens has to go through from the start. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have history together as well. If Sami Zayn is seen as number 1, we also get the conspiracy theory stuff. It all makes a lot of sense for them two to start the chamber off. King Corbin, as always, can be number 3 because, let's be fair, it's usually the most boring superstar of the chambers, usually in that spot. So Corbin fits that quite nicely. Number 4, I'd give to Daniel Bryan. I would put Cesaro in at 5th. And Jey Uso should be number 6. Now, Jey Uso is an interesting one because if he was to win, I want to see the dynamic on SmackDown leading up to this and perhaps the Chamber itself, where if Jey is to do Roman's dirty work and win the Chamber, Roman thinks he's got a night off, that Jey will lay down and he can just cover him. But actually, Jey Uso then doesn't want to do that. He wants to be main event Uso. He gets the opportunity to want to headline WrestleMania, because that would be a great storyline to get Jey Uso in that area, because I think Jey would be believable at this point if he was to win the WWE Universal Championship. You look at things, he's been booked so well over the last half year. But do I see that happening? No, I don't. So we will move on from that. I think Cesaro will do it. I think he will defeat either, Kevin Owens or Jey Uso will be one of the final 2 with him. As for Cesaro against Roman Reigns then, well, Roman Reigns is not losing the championship, so we'll just do that nice and quickly. Cesaro, or whoever wins, is protected for the fact they've been in a chamber match beforehand. Therefore, Roman, he's arguably got easy pickings. But if you get Cesaro in this position, this is what I want to see happen. Cesaro, he's that over, he's that unstoppable at the minute. I want Seth Rollins to come in and cost Cesaro the match, because they've started a little feud starting last week on SmackDown. Seth Rollins attacking Cesaro there. I think it would be a good way to continue that with the Elimination Chamber. That could build them two to have a feud maybe for Fastlane, even WrestleMania. Moving on then to the next match then, we're going to have a United States Championship triple threat match. We've got the champion Lashley against Riddle and Keith Lee, which is a really exciting prospect of these 3 in a triple threat match. I'm really looking forward to it. But the Raw commentary team did say last night that Keith Lee was a bit banged up after that match and is not 100% cert for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to a one-on-one match, which I'd be a bit disappointed if that happened, because I'm really excited of the element of Keith Lee being put in this match, because depending on what WWE wants to do for WrestleMania, this is a great way to get the championship off Lashley without being pinned. That was a story of Io Shirai NXT TakeOver. That didn't play out until the finish. Maybe it could work into this match. We'll have to wait and see. But for me personally, I think Riddle currently is there to take the fall. I think Lashley will retain. I think Lashley versus Keith Lee for the United States Championship is the long-term direction. And I think if Keith Lee beats Lashley in a one-on-one environment, Keith Lee will get the rub, because Lashley has, he's been dominant since last June. He's lost one match against Riddle in almost like a shock fluke fashion, and he's been dominant ever since. So to actually have a full one-on-one encounter, non-fluke win for the title, I think it would put Keith Lee over big time. So that's what I think is the long-term direction. But for this night, I go for Lashley to retain the championship. Next will be a match that I'm going to keep short and brief, really. Asuka versus Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship. Lacey Evans, it's true that it's not storyline. Lacey Evans is pregnant, if you know what's happened after Raw. No, Ric Flair is not the father in real life. But WWE just learnt this information. So what happens with this match, I'm not quite sure. So actually, in weird fashion, it's hard for me to really make a prediction, because they haven't updated on what they're going to do with this instead. I expect maybe we might get some sort of storyline garbage out of this rather than actually some sort of match, because let's be fair, Lacey shouldn't be taking bumps at this point. I will say that Asuka keeps the Raw Women's Championship as a result, which I think is probably what you would have said anyway going out of this. But yeah, it's an interesting what they're going to do with this, and hopefully if I get a chance to do a video again on Elimination Chamber later in the week with an updated new matches, maybe there'll be an update on this as well. Last but not least, then, let's look at the Raw side of things, the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. We've got the champion, Drew McIntyre, against Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston. That's right, Kofi Mania 2.0 could be happening this year once again. He took the Miz's place. Miz was supposed to be in this match, but I think WWE realised Miz doesn't need to be here. He's got the money in the bank. Why would he want to put himself through the chamber? He doesn't need to. But Kofi Mania, it's that time of year, isn't it, where Kofi got himself so over last year by going in the chamber. This is a great switch in my opinion. I was so happy to see Kofi put in this position. All 6 of these were involved in a gauntlet match on Raw, which I think was very well executed as well. We learned in this that Sheamus will be the guy that's last in the chamber. Therefore, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say, because Sheamus got the win on Raw and was the last one in the chamber, I believe Sheamus doesn't win here. So it's very interesting how it's going to be put together, because Drew and Sheamus is really the story of the match. They were supposed to have a one-on-one match. It's got put into the chamber. It's been elevated on the build here via that gauntlet match. Maybe I think these could be the last 2 in the match. I'm going to make a prediction now and say I think Drew McIntyre retains the WWE Championship. I just think personally Drew should be the champion going into WrestleMania. And even though there's been a few rumours going around, if Randy Orton did win the championship, I don't think he's facing Edge at WrestleMania. I think Edge still will go for Roman Reigns. I think Randy Orton is going to be facing The Fiend at WrestleMania, as that's been building. And as you can see on Raw this past week, Randy Orton was cost in the gauntlet match via Alexa Bliss, also with, taking over all the screens in the Thunderdome. I think some sort of shenanigans is going to happen to take Randy out of this match. So that's my reasons of why I think Drew will retain here. And I think him and Sheamus will be the last 2 in the match. I'm going to throw some weird predictions out there for you now, because a part of me thought that Kofi and AJ would start this chamber match off, thought it would make the most sense potentially, or even AJ and Jeff Hardy. I'm going to go on a real limb here and say that I think the deck is going to be truly stacked against Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go for Drew and AJ to kick off the chamber. That's going to be my prediction. I think Jeff Hardy is in 3rd, Kofi is in 4th, Randy is in 5th, and Sheamus comes in last. And I think that this is going to be a real solid encounter between these 6 guys. As for eliminations, I'm going to go for Jeff Hardy to be eliminated first. Sadly, I'm going to go for Kofi to be eliminated second. We know Kofi Mania sadly won't happen. It's very late in the day, and I know that it sort of happened like this when it did happen for Kofi Mania. This really has come out of the blue, and I think there's too much planned in for WWE right now. I just don't see it materialising. But then looking at it, I think AJ will go 3rd. Randy will go 4th, and like I say, I think Drew and Sheamus will finish off. Last before I leave you, will The Miz cash in Money in the Bank? Because he said he's not guaranteed he will actually do it. He's just teasing that he will, and everyone, whether it's on the WWE Championship picture or the Universal Championship picture, need to keep their eyes open and look over their shoulder, because Miz is waiting with that briefcase. I think via SmackDown, the Roman retaining, I think that it doesn't happen. I actually believe as well that The Miz may try to do it on Drew McIntyre, but I think he will not cash it in and will just be unsuccessful and claymored. Remember, John Morrison wasn't on Raw this week, and I have a feeling he just may not be at the pay-per-view either. But either way, I don't see The Miz cashing in this Sunday. So that's the predictions there for you for WWE Elimination Chamber. That's everything up to this point right now. What do you think of the predictions? What do you want to happen this Sunday? Let me know in the comments section right now. I look forward to interacting with you. Have you seen my NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day review show? That is available for you on the channel right now. And SCW interviews will be coming as well later this week. Keep an eye out for that also. And like I say, I hope to do a second extended video of the Elimination Chamber, a part of the Elimination Chamber predictions, because I imagine there will be 1 or 2 matches added before we get to the Chamber on Sunday, so that will probably be dropping around Saturday time, with the Q&A of course coming on Sunday. And of course, if you want to know about the review, I usually drop it on the Monday, so make sure next Monday Elimination Chamber review show will be there for you. But that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel right now. Leave your comments in the comments below and hit the thumb up. It really helps the channel go a long way. Share with a friend as well. Have yourselves a great day. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube. I'll see you next time.